Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're looking at a massive, incredibly ambitious blueprint proposed for regulating artificial intelligence within the Indian justice system. It's a truly fascinating look into how one of the world's largest legal systems is trying to get ahead of the technological curve. We're going to break down the sheer scale of this proposed infrastructure, the impressive vision behind it, and, well, the pretty stark critiques regarding its cost and structure. Okay, let's dive into this. How exactly do you regulate AI in the highest courts of the land? It is a monumental challenge. I mean, you have to balance the lightning-fast pace of technological innovation with the strict, unmoving boundaries of the Constitution. We all want the efficiency AI can bring, right? But you absolutely cannot afford a machine making an unconstitutional error in a court of law. So to solve this, the proposed plan envisions a massive, deeply structured governance mechanism.
Section 1, the AI Governance Blueprint, and inside the apex body.
Now, the judiciary's approach here doesn't start from the bottom up. It starts right at the absolute top, calling for the creation of an appropriate authority. Pay close attention to how this is framed. It's a full-time, permanent apex body. And while the stated goal is to promote innovation and integration, the source material notes that it is, at its core, a regulatory body. Its primary job is permitting that innovation, but only within very strict, clearly defined limits. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly who is pulling the strings. To form this apex body, a really diverse brain trust is being assembled. It's a 9+ member committee. We're talking 2 Supreme Court judges, 2 High Court Chief Justices, an officer from the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, plus a whole roster of experts in cybersecurity, finance, law, and academia. The Chief Justice of India, the CJI, is the clear driving force here. They serve as the head of the committee, nominate the key judicial members, and can even co-opt additional experts on a case-by-case basis. So what's their day-to-day? What does this group actually do? Well, their primary mandate is to ensure that no AI tool, whether that's an autonomous agent working in the background or just a static predictive model, steps out of legal bounds. They are literally the gatekeepers. They ensure constitutional compliance, manage operational safeguards, coordinate with national tech bodies, and handle any grievances that might pop up from AI usage in the courts. Section 2, the expanding committee web. Let's move to and see how this builds. From that single high-level council, the blueprint shifts into a rapidly expanding administrative web. To execute its massive mandate, the apex body is going to spawn 5 distinct subcommittees. You've got the Judicial Committee, the Technical Committee, the Committee on Infrastructure and Finance, the Case and Data Management Committee, and finally, the Cybersecurity Committee. You can kind of start to see how the organizational chart is just ballooning outward, compartmentalizing all the different challenges of judicial AI. But wait, the structure doesn't stop there. The blueprint proposes that the Supreme Court will form CoRIA. That stands for the Center of Research and Excellence on Artificial Intelligence. Think of this as an integrated think tank. It'll pull tech experts, legal scholars, academics, postdoctoral researchers, the whole shebang. Their job is to provide all the heavy lifting research and legal compliance support directly to the apex body. Now, to truly understand the scale of this blueprint, we have to look way beyond New Delhi and the Supreme Court. The plan actually mandates that an AI committee be constituted in every single high court across the entire country. Each of these local committees will be led by 3 judges, and they'll oversee and regulate the adoption of AI within their specific local jurisdictions. And to top it all off, completing this massive structural buildup envisioned by the National Judicial Academy Pope Paul, every single one of those local high court committees requires its own AI secretariat. That means hiring a dedicated local staff of officers, tech experts, data scientists, and legal administrators for every high court in the nation. It is a sprawling blueprint. Section 3, the bureaucratic price tag and the pivot. All right, so we've seen the grand tech vision, but a critical analysis of the self-dependent model reveals a pretty stark critique. The analysis impartially notes that while the judiciary's proactive focus on AI is highly appreciated, there is a serious danger of excessive bureaucratization. The sheer number of committees, subcommittees, and secretariats risks duplicating functions, bogging down decision-making, and creating what the analysis literally calls dysfunctional cross-currents. Let's put a hard number on that structure: 1,000 individuals. The analysis estimates that building this entirely self-dependent setup, operating squarely under the CGI supervision alongside officials from other national tech bodies, will require hiring and managing nearly 1,000 people. And that is just to run the administrative side of judicial AI. And as you might guess, with that kind of manpower comes a massive financial footprint. The estimated operating cost to keep this machinery running every single year is roughly 250 to 300 crores rupees. To put that into perspective, that is purely the annual operating expenditure for this new bureaucracy. Furthermore, on top of that annual operating cost, you have the capital expenditure. Getting this AI infrastructure off the ground, building the local secretariats, and establishing core AI is estimated to require a capital expenditure exceeding another 300 crores rupees. The financial weight of this blueprint is absolutely immense. So the crucial point is 5 crore. That is the number of pending court cases currently backlogging the Indian justice system. And this poses the objective question raised by critics in the source text. With 5 crore cases pending, should these massive funds be deployed for administration and new bureaucratic structures instead of being directed toward resources that handle cases and clear that backlog directly? Section 4. A call for pruning.
The source analysis doesn't just critique the plan, though. It actually offers concrete solutions. We can compare 2 different paths here. On one side, we have the current proposed model, a self-dependent system that requires massive new hiring and high costs directly under the CJI. On the other side is the proposed alternative, using deputed officers. The analysis suggests that since AI will be used for routine administrative duties across every government department anyway, the judiciary could substantially reduce costs. How? By utilizing excess manpower and deputing existing tech officers from other government organizations rather than building a brand new workforce from scratch.
Now, what's really interesting about this proposal is the call to fix the blueprint. The analysis recommends forming a high-level, multidisciplinary review committee to revisit and prune the original plan developed by the National Judicial Academy Bhopal. It's quite a lineup. Experts from the Indian Institute of Science, an IIM, an IIT, the National Law School, plus a private sector organizational expert and a chartered accountant. It's essentially a call to bring in top-tier management and financial minds to optimize this whole judicial tech structure.
Because if this massive bureaucracy isn't streamlined, the source analysis raises a very clear warning. Without pruning, it's highly possible that the central government and the Comptroller and Auditor General, the CAG, may be very uncomfortable with both the bloated structure and the recurring costs. And that could potentially lead to severe friction down the line.
Which leaves us with this final, powerful question. Will the judiciary streamline its AI blueprint or get tangled in its own bureaucracy? It's a fascinating tension, right? You have the very real need for strict constitutional oversight of new technology, pitted against the very real danger of administrative bloat. Thank you for joining me on this explainer. Keep this question in mind as we watch how one of the most important legal institutions in the world adapts to the age of AI.